Good evening, everyone, from beautiful Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and the David F. Couch Ballpark, home of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I'm Will Miller here with Austin Hannon in North Carolina for Alabama baseball's first chance in the Super Regional round since 2010. This is it. This is the nitty-gritty. 2 wins away from Omaha, 2 wins from the Promised Land, but first you've got to get through number 1. Austin, tough task ahead, but how do you feel about the vibe overall for this team coming into this moment?
Really confident. We just got to finish talking to Jim Jarvis, Tommy Seidel, Jason Jackson, as well as Wake Forest team, and they're confident. They kind of came in, you could tell they're excited, but they kind of kept it level-headed in there. They kind of stuck to what they've been saying the last few weeks is they know they're a good baseball team. They know they're playing great. They know that they've won 13 of 17 against really good competition. Wake Forest, I'm sure, feels the same way. Obviously, as the #1 team in the country, you're going to be confident. But any team that's in the Super Regionals, you're going to be confident. I mean, you just came off, everybody that's left, all 16 teams just came off a regional victory. So everybody at this time of the year is feeling good. They're playing great baseball. And it's no different here in Winston-Salem, like you said. High-powered baseball, great teams, very similar teams. And I think they both understand, how big this is. Obviously, you're 2 wins away from Omaha, which is the Promised Land. It's where everybody wants to go. It's where you dream of playing as a college baseball player. And you're right there. You're right there. But you gotta come through this weekend, and both teams know that. And I think they're both confident in doing so.
A lot of success for Wake Forest this season goes without saying. #1 team in the bracket, #1 team in the country, 50 wins. Not much left to be said about it. But a big component in that is an elite pitching staff. One of the best groups of arms in the league and in the country. Alabama, though, has a great staff, too. They've stepped up in big moments. They've stepped up when it counted. And Alabama's guys have had to go up against the likes of Paul Skeens, against the likes of Jacob Mayers and various aces around the country. How do you feel about those matchups?
Yeah, like I said before, I think really similar teams, very similar pitching. The numbers are obviously in the favor of Wake Forest, as they should be as the #1 team, but very similar arms. They've got 3 good starters, 4 good starters. Alabama feels the same way. They both have deep bullpens that have really good stuff. They both have 1 to 9 lineups that can hurt you. I believe last weekend Wake Forest, a lot of their production was coming from not the guys that you would think. So, and Alabama feels the same way. You think of guys like Caden Rose and other guys in the bottom of the lineup that have stepped up, Matt Cassetti. So you can be hurt in a bunch of different ways by both teams. Like you said, Alabama's not going to be afraid of facing an ace. They've done it a lot of times this year. A lot of guys that have probably picked their SEC schools over Wake Forest in the recruiting process. So if you think of it that way, it's like, okay, maybe we've seen guys potentially better than this guy. Brett Lauder, you might not have because of the numbers he's put up this year.
1.6 ERA, really.
1.66 ERA, 14-0. Nobody's beat him this year. So that's the task that Alabama has on their hands tomorrow. Obviously, it's a 2 out of 3. It's not win or go home tomorrow, so it's not the end of the world. If you get a great performance from Lauder and you lose the game, you still got an opportunity to make it to Omaha. So I don't think they're going to be scared of the opportunity. I think they're excited, and like I said, Luke Holman's a pretty good guy on the mound too, so it should be a very good pitching game tomorrow.
Folks, this is a big moment, but one thing's true above all: it's postseason baseball. You never know what to expect. Saturday through Monday, unconventional series days on the docket here for this Super Regional. Early start tomorrow morning, 12 Eastern, 11 Central. You can keep up with us all weekend. I'm Will Miller here with Austin Hannon on BamaCentral.